In the heart of Greater Manchester lies the town of Rochdale, a place known more for its hard-working roots than for headlines of horror. But on October 17th, 2017, that quiet was shattered. It began like any other autumn day. Cool air, rustling leaves, a team of tree workers setting out for what they thought would be just another shift. But what followed would scar a man for life and leave a town shaken. This is a story of rage, retaliation, and a chilling act of violence that spiraled out of control. A moment of road rage turned into an orchestrated street attack, one that would leave a young man fighting for his future and a community grappling with fear, anger, and the painful cost of silence. This is the Rochdale axe attack. It's just after 4 p.m. on Church Road in Newbold, Rochdale. The sun is sinking low. Shadows stretch across pavement where the buzz of chainsaws fills the air. 4 arborists, all in high-vis vests, are wrapping up for the day. Among them is the youngest, only 18. Quiet, determined, putting in the kind of work that builds calluses and character. But that afternoon he wouldn't finish his shift, because in mere moments one of his arms would be hanging by threads of flesh, shredded by an axe. It started with something small, a dispute. A bad moment behind the wheel. A man named Habibur Rahman, 27, driving through the area, becomes enraged with an elderly woman ahead of him. Words are exchanged, heated, aggressive. It escalates quickly. A few steps away, the tree crew watches. 2 of them step in to calm things down, try to de-escalate. But Rahman doesn't take kindly to being challenged, especially not in what he sees as his territory. And to him, this wasn't just interference, it was disrespect. He snaps. What should have ended with words turns into something far more sinister. Rahman, still fuming, makes a phone call. Then another. A message is sent, and it's clear. Retaliation is coming, and it won't be a fair fight. Within minutes, allies start to arrive. Up to 20 men, many armed, many angry. This wasn't random violence, this was a mission, a statement. The tree workers, still unaware of what's coming, begin packing their tools. They're seconds from being done. But Rahman finds them, tracks them to a nearby job site. His car screeches across the entrance, blocking their exit. Then comes the threat, loud and clear. They're not leaving. They're getting stabbed. No bluff, no backing down. What comes next is chaos. From every direction, Rahman's crew arrives, a mix of machetes, knives, blunt objects, and one man, Mohammed Awais Sajid, known on the street as Skinny, is carrying something far more symbolic, an axe tucked into his waistband. They surround the workers, a wall of aggression. No words, just intent. Rahman is the first to strike. A steel knuckle duster shatters a worker's nose with a single punch. Blood sprays. Panic erupts. Then Sajid moves in. He goes straight for the youngest, the 18-year-old who had tried to break things up. Sajid pulls the axe and strikes. First, into the chest, a crushing blow that breaks ribs and punctures a lung. Then a second swing. The axe comes down hard, aimed for the head. The teen lifts his arm to shield himself, and the blade cleaves through his wrist, nearly severing it. He collapses, gasping, bleeding, broken. The mob keeps moving. In the chaos, one of the crew grabs a chainsaw. Desperation fuels him. With one pull of the cord, the saw roars to life, a sound that slices through the madness. It works. The attackers hesitate, then they flee. Fear finally cracks their bravado. Another worker runs to a nearby care home, banging on the door for help. Inside, someone calls emergency services. Sirens wail in the distance. But for the young man on the ground, time is slipping away fast. He's rushed by air ambulance to hospital, barely clinging to life. Surgeons race to save his hand. It's touch and go, Hours of surgery, multiple operations, they manage to reattach it. But the damage is lasting, permanent. Over the next 2 years, that young man undergoes 6 operations, each one a reminder of what was taken from him that day: strength, freedom, normalcy. Doctors tell him he'll regain just 60% of the use of that arm. Meanwhile, police launch a full-scale investigation, codenamed Operation Beehive. The attackers may have disappeared into the night, but the evidence remained: CCTV, blood trails, witnesses, weapons dumped in alleys. By January 2018, the net tightens. Raids sweep through Rochdale. 12 arrests, among them Awais Sajid. Others linked to the violence. 9 are later released, but several face serious charges. In court, emotions run high. The trial is tense. Security is tight. The man with the axe, Sajid, is found guilty of grievous bodily harm with intent. He's sentenced to 18 years in prison, but the attempted murder charge, dropped in an earlier trial, a decision that sparks outrage. Rahman, the ringleader, is found guilty of assault for the knuckle-duster attack, sentenced to 4.5 years. His brother, Zila Rahman, gets 3 years for conspiracy. Another man, Ahsan Ali, receives 4. The judge doesn't mince words. He calls the attack calculated, savage, and without remorse. He rejects Rahman's defense of racial provocation as a lie. For the victims, justice feels partial. The scars, visible and invisible, remain. The young victim is now in his 20s. His hand will never be the same. But he's alive, and he's rebuilding. Rochdale is a place of resilience, but that day left a scar not just on a body, but on a town's sense of safety. This was more than just a fight. It was a warning about the speed at which rage can explode and the slow, painful process of healing that must follow. So we ask you, what does justice mean when the damage can't be undone? What happens when vengeance replaces reason? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters. This story isn't just about one moment, it's about all of us.